Friends, today we are going to see the next concept of Fourier transforms, that particularly Fourier sine transform. Or
Hello.
cosine transform, right? Hello, some person is right.
Yes, sir.
Right, tell me. Hello, some
Yes, sir.
student Santosh. Tell me what you want. You want to speak something?
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
Like,
Hello,
yes,
tell me, Mrutyunjay.
you are it not copy.
Sorry. Hello. Santosh,
Yes, sir.
you want to say something?
Sorry, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yeah, okay. So these Mrutyunjay and Santosh want to speak something because they are
No, sir. No, sir.
okay. Okay. Let's come into our lecture. So is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Right. Right. So we have seen the Fourier transform in the last class and their results and all. So that Fourier transform representation, which we have given into the form that, what is the Fourier transform? Let's say once again I would like to writing you. We know that Fourier transform, sorry, not Fourier integral, the base of that Fourier integral of any function fx is equal to, so can anybody say what is the full form of the Fourier integral?
Sir, it's integration minus infinity to infinity.
1 by pi.
Yeah, with 1 by pi.
Integral minus infinity to infinity or 0 to infinity?
0 to infinity.
Right, 0 to infinity.
A omega cos
Cos omega x, p
d
omega sin omega x, d omega, where a omega is equal to integral minus infinity to infinity
F
fx
of x
cos
cos
omega x
omega.
dx and dt. T terms also you can write it. And b omega is equal to integral minus infinity to infinity fx sin omega x dx, right? If we included them, it will be 1 by pi integral 0 to infinity integral minus infinity to infinity.
ft
Ft it is okay. Ft or fx, whatever it ft.
Cos omega. Oh,
cos omega t minus x.
Both. So therefore you write it
sir,
better.
it should be T.
T. Okay, for our convenience, just variating the distinguishing of the variable. Tt. Right.
Correct.
Tt. Ft cos omega t
Cos
cos
omega T.
plus sin omega t sin omega x dt d omega, right?
Cos omega T minus x.
Dt d omega, right? This is actually right. It is not plus, it is t. Okay. Right.
Right, sir.
Sin omega t, sin, like this we can write it. Suppose if ft is even function, if ft is even function, what it happen? Can you say anything?
Sir, it will become 1 by pi 0 to infinity integration 0 to infinity with a 2 outside.
Right, wait. If f is an even function, then obviously integral minus infinity to infinity ft cos omega t in t, suppose, let us say cos omega t, ft into cos omega t is even function, right?
Right, sir.
Sin t, ft will become odd function. Therefore, integral minus infinity to infinity ft sin omega t dt is equal to 0, right? In such case, fx is equal to 1 by pi integral 0 to infinity integral minus infinity to infinity ft into cos omega t into cos
Omega x.
Sir, voice not coming.
omega x dt into d omega. Hello? Is
Yes,
it,
sir.
am I audible? There is some network transition. Okay.
Audible, audible.
Or we can write it this, fx is equal to 2 by pi into integral 0 to infinity ft cos omega t dt into cos omega x d omega, right?
Right, sir.
This part we call it as the Fourier transform. That is integral 0 to infinity ft cos omega t dt, right? Which is called the Fourier cosine transform, which is denoted by fc omega.
But Fourier transform में तो limit minus infinity to infinity होती है ना?
This is called Fourier cosine transform. Okay?
Sir,
Fourier cosine. Fourier, this is infinite Fourier cosine transform and is denoted by fc of fx or fc omega. Okay, this is, so hence fx is equal to, so where we can write it, this if we define this part integral 0 to infinity ft cos omega t resulting in a function of omega, that is called a Fourier cosine transform. That's why it is distinguishing that Fourier transform as fc omega. It reads as Fourier cosine transform of function fx. Okay, so when it is Fourier cosine transform of fx, then the Fourier integral, that means fx is equal to, it's become 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity fc omega into cos omega x d omega, right? So this is called infinite inverse Fourier cosine transform. Okay, this is important. This fx is inverse Fourier cosine transform. Fc omega is Fourier cosine transform of function fx. That is in the infinite range, so therefore infinite interval. So that's why it is called the infinite Fourier cosine transform, right? In the similar fashion, where if fx is an odd function, then that fx become 2 by pi into integral 0 to infinity ft sine omega t dt into sine omega x d omega, where we define f s omega, that is equal to integral 0 to infinity ft sine omega t dt, is called Fourier sine transform. This is infinite. You can add it. Infinite Fourier sine transform. Hello, students. This is infinite Fourier sine transform. So hence fx is equal to 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity fs omega into sine omega x d omega, which is called inverse Fourier sine transform. Okay, these are the very important Fourier sine transform and inverse Fourier sine transform, right? Okay, so here one must be understand that the Fourier transform or Fourier sine or cosine transforms were the parts of the integral representations of the function fx, where that inverse Fourier transform is resulting you that function fx into the integral representation. That's all. So therefore the Fourier transform and inverse Fourier transform, both of them were associating the integral representation, right? Okay, understand? Tell me.
सर फोरियर ट्रांसफॉर्म में तो लिमिट माइनस इन्फिनिटी टू इन्फिनिटी होती है ना?
Right, that will be become an odd even function. If it is an even function, that minus infinity to infinity, it become what will be happen? 0 to 2 times of 0 to infinity.
Yes, sir. I'm asking, you have named that function 0 to infinity ft cos omega t dt as infinite Fourier cosine transform. In that, I'm asking, sir, generally we write minus infinity to infinity that something is Fourier transform. But in this case, minus infinity is not there. There's a 0.
You tell me why. Almost the chapter is ending. What you are understanding? I said this statement is right. Fx is equal to 1 by pi into integral 0 to infinity, integral minus infinity to infinity. This is right. This is what we have written here.
Yes, sir.
Why 1 by pi into integral 0 to infinity? Let us see this one, this part, this one. This is Fourier sine cosine integral, right?
Yes, sir.
Fourier cosine
Cosine.
integral.
Yes, sir.
1 by pi integral 0 to infinity. Why? Tell me.
Sir, I didn't get what you are asking.
Here, why 1 by pi 0 to infinity? What is the difference? There is a little bit change is there. As you are claiming that may be minus infinity to infinity.
I don't know, sir.
You are claiming that interval is from minus infinity to infinity, but I have written 0 to infinity.
I'm asking, sir, it should be, I think it should be minus infinity to infinity, but you have written 0 to infinity. Why, sir?
That's why that is my question.
No, sir.
Don't only observe the limits. You can observe the coefficient also. What is the coefficient is?
Is it 1 by pi?
If you
Okay.
want minus infinity to infinity, that you maybe put it 1 by 2 pi.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Right?
Right, sir. Right.
Good. So therefore now you have been clear now?
Yes, sir. Clear.
1 by 2 pi is their coefficient. If you write 1 by 2 pi, integral minus infinity to infinity will come. If you write 1 by pi, that integral 0 to infinity will come.
Correct, sir.
Right. So therefore, these are the Fourier cosine transform fc omega integral 0 to infinity ft cos omega t dt. Fourier cosine integral, cosine transform. And inverse Fourier cosine transform is 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity fc omega cos omega x d omega. In the same fashion, we can define that Fourier sine transform is fs omega integral 0 to infinity ft sine omega t dt. And its inverse Fourier sine transform is defined by 2 pi pi integral 0 to infinity fs omega sine omega x d omega. Right? These are all defined in the infinite interval of integration. Right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, now there may be the finite interval also. We can define the cosine and the sine transforms, Fourier cosine and sine transforms. Fourier cosine and sine transforms in the finite interval. Say 0 comma L, okay, where it was 0 to infinity, that now it will be 0 to L, okay. That Fourier sine transform, this is called finite Fourier cosine transform of fx in an interval 0 less than x less than L is defined as fsn. Understand? fsn, Fourier cosine na fcn. fcn is equal to integral 0 to L ft cos n pi ft cos n pi t by L into dt. Okay, this is finite Fourier cosine transform, and the inverse, where n is any integer, Now the inverse finite Fourier cosine transform is it is of FCN is given by Fx is equal to 1 by L FC0 plus 2 by L into sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity FCN into cos n pi x by L. Okay, this is finite Fourier cosine transform in an interval 0 comma L, where its inverse Fourier cosine transform is this one. Okay, where n is an integer, and the finite Fourier sine transform of Fx in an interval 0 and L is defined as Fsn is equal to integral 0 to L Ft sine n pi t by L into dt, where n is any integer. Okay, and the inverse finite Fourier sine transform of Fsn is given by Fx is equal to 2 by L into sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity Fsn into sine n pi x by L. Okay, these are finite sine transform finite Fourier sine transform and its inverse Fourier transform. Here one must be understand that where it is a finite interval, it cannot get the Riemann sum. So therefore that integral form cannot get its inverse representation. Where it's the inverse representation, it will be representing the whole function into the sum. That could not be a Riemann sum. So therefore it will be in the summation only, where the summation turns into integral if it is a infinite all values, that in infinite interval, this sum turned into an integral. Okay, so it is a finite interval, so therefore that inverse sum, it will be in the summation form only. Okay, these are the Fourier sine and cosine transforms in finite interval and the infinite interval. Okay, right? Hello, students.
Yes, sir.
Now let's define the derivatives of Fourier sine and cosine transform. Fourier sine and cosine transform of derivatives. This is a very important one. Fourier sine and cosine transform of derivatives. This will help you to solve the initial and boundary value problems. So where we can do the how we can find out the derivative for finite or infinite Fourier sine and cosine transform of derivatives. Let u is equal to a function of x comma t, ux comma t, and the functions uxt comma dou u by dou x and dou square u by dou x square. All are tends to 0 as x tends to infinity. Okay, then number 1, Fourier sine transform of dou square u by dou x square is equal to omega into u0 comma t minus omega square into Fourier sine transform of u, or w you can write it, okay, whatever it is, right? Fourier sine transform of u. And number 2, Fourier cosine transform of dou square u by dou x square is equal to minus ux 0 comma t minus omega square into Fourier cosine transform of u. Fourier cosine transform of u. So these are very, very important, which will help you to solve the initial boundary value problems, particularly heat conduction problems or the wave equation, all of them. Okay, so where we have the second order derivatives, where the Fourier sine transform of second order derivative, which will be giving you the derivative will be transformed into the functions, right? One is omega into u0 comma t. Uxt is the given function, which will be turned into u0 comma t, that may be one of the boundary condition, minus omega square into Fourier sine transform of the given function. This is fs omega or fs of u. Okay, so therefore that derivative can be reduced into Fourier sine in terms of Fourier sine transform with the boundary condition. That boundary condition we may have here, but here omega square into fs u is also giving you a function of omega. So therefore totally it will be giving you free of the derivatives, but it has been coming the Fourier sine transform or cosine transform like that, so which can be easily to turned into the algebraic equations, or their inverse Fourier sine transform or cosine transforms can be provided the required solution for the solving of initial boundary value problems where it has the derivatives, right? And similarly, once we can observe in the Fourier cosine transform of dou square u by dou x square is equal to minus ux 0 comma t. That means u derivative, the given function derivative with respect to x at x is equal to 0. This is a boundary condition, derivative boundary condition, right? Minus omega square into fcu. Okay, we will derive this one. You can derive very simple. We can also derive now also, because it will be helpful for you. So now we know that Fourier sine transform of any function ft or fx is equal to integral 0 to infinity ft, right, sine omega t dt, right? Now Fourier sine transform of dou square u by dou x square is equal to Integral 0 to infinity, because this may be write it as 0 to infinity fx into sine omega x dx. Understand that variable is dummy. So therefore, Fourier sine transform of dou square u by dou x square is equal to integral 0 to infinity dou square u by dou x square sine omega x dx, right? So now we can apply the integral by parts. So integral u dv is equal to uv minus integral v du, right? So it will giving you sine omega x, you can take it as u sine omega x into dv is dou square u by dou x square into dx. So therefore v will be dou u by dou x, right? And limits are 0 to infinity. This is uv minus integral v dou u by dou x into du sine omega x derivative omega into cos omega x dx 0 to infinity. So that is equal to, where we can take up that dou u by dou x tending to 0 as x tends to infinity, right? So therefore upper limit tends to 0 minus lower limit value will, when x is equal to 0, sine 0 0, right? Minus omega into integral 0 to infinity dou u by dou x into cos omega x dx. So this will be 0, that is equal to minus omega into, again you apply the integral by parts, it resulting u into cos omega x 0 to infinity minus integral 0 to infinity minus omega into u into sine omega x dx. Cos omega x derivative omega into sine omega, right? That is equal to, this also tends to 0, because where x tends to infinity, u tends to 0. So therefore the upper limit value tends to 0, minus omega into upper limit 0, lower limit value u 0 comma t minus into minus plus omega square, sorry, not omega square, omega into integral 0 to infinity u into, u means uxt into sine omega x dx, right? Now multiply with minus omega, minus into minus plus omega into u 0 comma t minus omega square into, what is this? Fourier sine transform of u, right? So hence Fourier sine transform of dou square u by dou x square is equal to omega into u 0 comma t minus omega square into Fourier sine transform of u, right? Similarly, you can derive that Fourier cosine transform of dou square u by dou x square is equal to minus omega ux, that means derivative. You can derive in the same fashion, minus ux 0 comma t minus omega square into Fourier cosine transform of u. Okay, right? Fourier cosine transform of u. U means here u is equal to u of x comma t. U is equal to u of x comma t. So here very important observation is there. Suppose we know, I am writing here, any initial or boundary value problem. Can anybody say what is the initial and boundary value problems? Say,
Problems
let
with initial and boundary values.
heat equation, heat conduction equation.
wave equation and
That is
Laplace equation.
dou u by dou t is equal to c square into dou square u by
Dou x
dou
square.
x square. We know, right?
Yes, sir.
What are the initial conditions? u0 comma t may be function of p. Sorry, initial condition means right. Sorry, here not ux comma 0, right? Initial condition fx. Boundary conditions were u0 comma t.
0 comma t is equal to
Another one u l comma t. That if it is a finite bound, so l. If it is an infinite bound, there may be infinite, right? Right? Say, let us say. So this is the structure of the initial boundary value problem for solving the heat temperature distribution with initial condition. This is one way of boundary condition. This is first case. Second case also there, right? What is the second case? The initial condition may be taken as u derivative of u may be given, right? Initial condition maybe have that initially that both the ends are insulated. If it is an insulated means, that means there is no heat transfer in that we can write it, right?
Derivative will be 0.
Yeah, derivative initial condition may be 0 or the initial condition may be 0 or boundary conditions. Maybe first derivative of 0 comma t is equal to u naught star, whatever it is, right? ul comma t is equal 1 and it is insulated ul. Okay. So in such case, what we have is here that may be gx, whatever it is. This may be initial condition may be taken in such a way. Suppose if it has ux 0 comma t, derivative boundary conditions are there at the initial point. So then what type of Fourier transform is to be applicable? Can anybody say? Fourier sine transform to be considered or Fourier cosine transform to be considered?
Sir, Fourier cosine transform.
Yeah, very good. Here one must be very clear about which transform to be taken to solve the initial boundary value problems. Whether that may be a Fourier sine transform or Fourier cosine transform. First get it whether the interval is bounded or infinite. If it is an infinite boundary, so you take it the infinite Fourier sine transform or cosine transform. If it is a finite boundary, so then that finite transforms are to be considered. Okay, this is first point clear. Second point, based on the boundary conditions, where suppose u0 comma t is given, u0 comma t is given, understand, u0 comma t is given. So for solving that initial boundary value problem, consider the Fourier sine transform. Okay. If the boundary condition it has the derivative condition, ux 0 comma t is known, is given, then go for the
Fourier cosine.
Fourier cosine transform, right? This is a very important observation. This has to be followed for choosing the suitable transformation to solve the boundary value problems, right? I am writing here that observation, that is note. In order to solve second order initial boundary value problems in the infinite region, 0 comma infinity with the conditions uxt comma dou u by dou x comma dou square u by dou x so as x tends to infinity, x tends to infinity. Number 1, if the initial condition it is an boundary condition. If the boundary condition uxt at x is equal to 0 is given, then apply infinite Fourier sine transform. Okay. Number 2, if the boundary condition ux x comma t at x is equal to 0 is given, then apply which one? Infinite Fourier cosine transform, right? In order to solve the second order PDEs or initial boundary value problems with u dou u by dou x dou square u by dou x square tends to 0 as x tends to 0 in the infinite region. If boundary condition u0 comma t is given, apply the Fourier sine transform. If derivative condition ux x comma t at x is equal to 0 is given, then apply Fourier cosine transform. In the same way, suppose if it is in the finite region, in the same way you can take it, the suitable Fourier and cosine transforms, right? Finite Fourier sine transform and cosine transform in the finite regions, right? Hello? Right?
Sure.
So now let's take it here to solve a problem in the infinite region as well as the finite region. Solve the equation dou u by dou t is equal to dou square u by dou x square, where x greater than 0, t greater than 0, subject to the conditions. Number 1, u is equal to 0 when x is equal to 0, t greater than 0. Number 2, okay, u is equal to 1 when x greater than 0 less than 1, 0 when x less than or equal to 1, when t is equal to 0. This is initial condition, right? Number 3, uxt is bounded. Uxt is bounded. Okay, these are the 3 conditions given. So we will do the problem. So which is ux0, u0 comma t is given. This is first condition, right? So therefore, which transforms to be chosen to solve this equation?
Sine transform.
0. Okay. So we choose Fourier sine transform, right? On both sides of the equation. That means the given equation is dou u by dou t is equal dou square u by dou x square. If you take Fourier sine transform, what it happen? The given equation is dou u by dou t is equal to dou square u by dou x square. In the infinite region it is. So take Fourier sine transform on both sides. Therefore, Fourier sine transform of dou u by dou t is equal to Fourier sine transform of dou square u by dou x square. I hope you know why the reason that to consider the Fourier sine transform in the problem, right? That means by definition we can define integral 0 to infinity dou u by dou t sine omega t dt is equal to integral 0 to infinity dou square u by dou x square into sine omega t dt. You know here that's become d by dt of fs of u, right? Is equal to this one. Did you say what is this? Fourier sine transform of dou square u by dou x square. Hello? What is the value which is omega into u0 comma t minus omega square into Fourier sine transform of u, right?
Yes, sir.
This we have already done. You just write directly. Because t is, you can take an out dou by dou t, and it will be integral 0 to infinity u into dou u sine omega t dt to become the Fourier sine transform. Here I am writing Fourier sine transform of u is equal to integral 0 to infinity u into u means uxt into whatever it is sine omega t dt, Fourier sine transform, right? That implies d by dt of Fourier sine transform of u plus omega square into Fourier sine transform of u is equal to what is u dou u0 comma t given 0 na? Right. What is this? Can anybody say? What is this? What is this? Please tell me.
This is 1 degree was
Cosine.
Linear ordinary differential equation of first order, right? You can separate the variables or not require the separation. Dou u by dou t plus u into f bar, or you maybe take it y is equal to fsu. So this is dy by dt plus omega square into y is equal to 0. How we can solve this?
Integrating factor.
Not required. You can directly solve it.
Directly solve.
Directly by separating the variables, right? By solving that, it will giving you e power minus s square or omega square. We will be using omega square. Omega, no? Omega square into t, right? See what is the solution? Is it right? Plus c is there. Separate the
Yes, sir.
variables. C into na. Where is C? Right? Hello? What, students? This is Fourier sine transform of u is equal to this much, right?
sir.
What, man? Nobody is responding. It is time over. Huh?
Yes.
That C has to be determined, right?
Correct, sir.
How we can find out that C?
Sir, the initial and boundary value problems we have used.
Right. Initial condition we can use to find out the C value. That when t is equal to 0, we know that ux0, right? ux0 is equal to, it is giving you 1 when 0, t is in between 0 and 1, right? Otherwise it will be considering 0. When t is equal to 0, so u is defined 1 and 0. X between 0 and 1, 1. Otherwise it is 0. Otherwise write it here. So therefore it may be clearing you. Otherwise otherwise 0 when t is equal to 0. So therefore right, Now take it. Here FSU you have. So to write it here also, Fourier sine transform of ux0 is equal to integral 0 to infinity ux0 sine omega x or omega x dx. That is equal to integral 0 to 1 sine omega x dx. What is the value which will be 1 minus cos omega by omega, right? This will be Fs u at t is equal to 0, right? Right? Hello, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now using this one here, this will be 4 and this may be 5. Now using now from 4 FSU. U means at t is equal to 0, c into e power 0. So this we have the value 1 minus cos omega by omega is equal to c. Okay. Therefore, the required answer Fs u or uxt is equal to c value we can substitute 1 minus cos omega by omega into e power minus omega square t, right? This is Fs, Fourier sine transform of this, right? What do you want? The solution is uxt. So therefore, what we do here? The required answer is uxt. Uxt we want, but we have only Fourier sine transform of this.
We do inverse Fourier transform
Right.
now.
Now taking inverse Fourier sine transform, we get uxt is equal. Tell me what it is. Integral 0 to infinity 2 by pi,
2 by pi outside. Yes, sir.
2 by pi integral 0 to
Fs
infinity
Fs
FSU into
sine omega d omega.
right?
Yes, sir.
That is equal to 2 by pi into integral 0 to infinity. Fs omega is 1 minus cos omega by omega into e power minus omega square t sine omega x d omega. This is uxt. If you want to do this integral, or if you left it, you can left it. This is the desired solution. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. Every problem based on the boundary conditions, you choose the Fourier sine transform or cosine transform. Accordingly, you reduce or eliminate all the derivatives in terms of Fourier sine or cosine transform, and then solve it for in terms of W like this, and apply the initial condition to get it any arbitrary constants involved in that, and final solution it will be giving you like this. Fourier sine transform of u is equal to this much, like in terms of omega. Then take the inverse Fourier transform. Okay, it will give you the solution. Here in inverse Fourier transform, this is an optional that the integral to be evaluated, or you may be left it there. Okay.
Okay.
This is Fourier transforms and their applications. We will do more problems in the tutorial. So therefore there may be tomorrow, I don't know whether it the tutorial, the quiz exam is to be held or not. I will inform you if it is scheduled. Okay. Not yet received any communication from the coordinator. Right? If it is quiz will conducted. So this is the syllabus from the Fourier transforms and Laplace transforms. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Good. Any?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks.
सर
Tell me.
सर कल की क्यूज कितने बजे है सर?
वही तो बता रहा हूँ. So we will convey you by message.
ओके सर, ओके
Okay.
सर, थैंक यू सर.
I will inform you. I will communicate.
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर.
Thank you.